Do your thing.
All right. Hello, everyone on the internet. Uh, we are live. So
Hi.
uh, today we are graciously accompanied by Tara and Nadim, the players of Mercedes and Mordecai, for
Hi.
any and all questions you may or may not have today. So you all, do you have, if we have any other players that may be coming in, uh, well, we'll happily take them. And remember,
Yeah, we accept all strays apparently.
yeah, all strays. And if you have questions you wish to ask, feel free just to drop them in the chat.
I feel like we're gonna get a "Why are you gay?" question right away.
What is all strays?
What is what?
What is all strays?
Ostrays?
Oh, all strays, like stray dogs or stray cats or something. You get it? Like a stray animal.
Okay.
It was a joke, as in we accept all strays.
Fair enough.
Explaining jokes 101.
Apparently we have Mats, who says he should actually start watching our game at some point, which you should. If you want to get started,
Wait, which one?
I don't know. He said I should watch the game at some point because I make it confused whenever I watch this. Also, from my name companion, why are you gay?
I know which Metsa it is.
Yeah.
I know exactly what that Metsa.
But
Alright, I got a question.
Wow.
Okay.
Alright.
Well, just one sec. So Matt, if you wish to get caught up on the recent exploits from this game that we play Wednesdays, you can find all videos up on YouTube. I have information down below in a panel box.
He doesn't upload the Monday games because he's cheap.
Yeah, I am. But yeah. So yeah, I'm sorry. I tried. I started to upload other ones, but then I got a little bit too much to manage. I'm sorry.
It's okay. I don't blame you.
So if you guys want to have some upload, you can stream it yourselves. Just mega whack. All right. So Tara, you had a question.
Yeah, it was for you, actually.
Ah. Okay.
What happened the last time? Because it seems like there was a lot of loose threads happening yesterday.
Trying to think about what I can share.
Every fucking DM ever.
Yeah.
What can I share?
Yeah.
Seemed like a lot of chaos going on.
I'll just say this. You guys unfortunately did not find the proper things you needed in order to find Sterling.
Sorry?
You guys didn't find the proper clues to find Sterling in Isol.
Kind of figured.
That's the best I could say.
That's strange. Because we only started.
I know.
It was less than 24 hours.
I mean, he... how do I put this?
We kind of made a big name for ourselves showing up there, so we kind of realized we were there.
That's one... I'm trying to remember who rolled the insight check on the mayor.
Thorig.
Yes.
Ethan's character.
Yeah.
Thorig did.
Yeah. Um, he has probably something that should have been followed up on later that day. But
Yep.
things happen, and of course I have to accommodate for chaos happening. Then I would have to think, since Sterling was based off a player's character. I don't really have the perfect idea of his mindset entirely, so I had to think about what he would try to do in this current situation. So things did get a little chaotic because of that.
Mm-hmm.
So if it's because it was chaotic, I'm sorry. At least I hope it was
Alright.
still. I hope it was still fun though. At least a little bit fun. All right, so
Oh yeah, we met Uguay.
God damn it.
Oh my god. Sued. We're sued. That's it. Copyright strikes all around. Just hand it out like it's a fucking food pamphlet and toilet paper rations.
All right, so we got another question from an Arju and Argu.
Nice.
I'm gonna go with Argu. Why?
Karsten reading names.
Yeah, well, usernames are hard.
Legendary.
Why did Kai refuse the offer to be part of the Haven Isles research?
Oh, that. Because this is his first real shot and first real excuse of being able to just go out somewhere in the world. And he didn't want to just right away settle down because I mean he's a young character. He's 18, and like even though yes, of age in most medieval times is technically 16. I personally, in my book, it's still 18 just to keep things, let's just say, less. Yeah, but he's still really young. The reason why he would have denied that is pretty much just I still have a lot of things ahead of me in the world. I can't just settle down right away. Because he's not even sure if he's going to stick with the Hunters Guild, which is where he worked before. He was in like research and development there, making different magic trinkets and items to help out any of the, I guess you call them Hunters cars. But he was going to end up leaving that anyways to try and find his own footing in the world, and it's primarily why he's just all around the place anyways.
Isn't Baddies still pretty much researched, still new? Virgin?
Yeah, but it's still to him settling in one place right off the bat instead of being able to just go some places because reason he already, even though he doesn't get out much and everything and isn't exactly the most combat proven person, easy reason for him to just accept the job right away was because like, hey, it's my chance to get out there. It's my chance to be able to not like it's an excuse I can give to Kai can give to his mother like, hey, I got a job that has me to go some places just so he can like get that just push to like from as well as from her, you know? Still him sticking to one place basically.
So, yeah, I guess I can get that. Being stuck in his workshop all the time, now getting to finally go out and see the world. He doesn't want to be hunkered down in a single place again. Okay. Just got a bit of...
So even though he's not having exactly the best of times, he's still sticking to it because it's still something he's doing that's putting himself out there.
Got another question.
Oh, nice.
Alright.
I'm guessing this might be for me. Sorry, viewers.
What's the question?
If you can specify who the question's for, like player or DM, that'd be great.
Or both.
Or both. Yeah, if it's the the question was, what's the significance of the garden behind the portal Mercy uncovered?
I mean, even I could say that.
let's see the significance of the garden. Um, let's see. What should I say?
Can you review that actually?
Yeah, there's not much I can reveal. I all I can say is that for a place like that to exist, even for the portal of that type to exist, takes a special confluence, a conflux of magic and things to happen. It's a rarity, and the garden could be a byproduct of that conflux of magic. But a place like that existing where you are in the world and where it's located would make it be kind of like seen as like a blessed place, like maybe like a holy land to some people.
Makes me wonder whether D5 actually knows about it.
That is
But I
a
mean,
possibility.
they're gods. They are all knowing. Yeah.
So, that's the best I can answer for that.
Alright then.
I have a question to you, Karst.
Okay.
A bit of confusion for me because I did not understand much because of the lack of words and such. What happened with the angels? Seemed like they were arguing, and then 5 came
Yes.
and pretty much put a stop to something. But it seemed like they were more agreeing with the branch that wants to attack.
So the 5 that you saw, what you could probably glean from it, or what Mercy could, I should say, from what she's been told, is that they are the council, the High Council. Basically, those who run the higher plane that Azazel is on. They help maintain order and step in to prevent chaos from happening in their realm. As you know, with things happening, things are getting kind of chaotic. They don't want any infighting happening between their denizens. So they stepped in and basically tried to put everyone back in line and have them try to settle this dispute peacefully. And basically peacefully come to a conclusion about what should be done, instead of fighting each other over it. Ooh, interesting question we just got for Kai.
Well, fun. But instead of fighting each other, they decide go stab them mortals.
That has not been sorted out yet. Angels do not work on decisions fast.
Yeah, but when they choose it, you basically better pray.
Yeah.
And don't pray to that angel, because I don't think he's going to care.
Yeah, that's why I'm worried about Laia and everything.
So,
they don't know where it is. They're wise, not all-seeing.
I wonder what we can do to stop it, if we can. But every time I try something, it just turns more worse.
Something probably.
I wouldn't say so.
Something probably could be done to help prevent it.
Just grab Peace, the plot device character.
Oh no, that'd be bad.
I think the answer might be in the library.
I won't say anything, but I'll just say it's a possibility. So, a question about Kai.
Oh, fun.
What has Kai been working on that blew up in his face?
Oh, that. Well, if you kind of been paying attention to what he's been saying, his conversation with Thorig, you would know, and that's the extent I'm going to put it at. What blew up in his face, though, was, let's just say something may have not worked exactly as planned, and it's something he's still going to stick with. He's just A, playing it more carefully, and B, trying not to blow up a monastery right now. So that's the extent of my answer that I'm going to give. I'm not even going to say exactly what it is, because...
Is that a sex toy?
No. You dirty cunt. It is not a sex toy. Haha, funny.
Remember Nadim. If you're gonna say that word, say it with love.
Okay, you cunt.
I know you can't see it, Terry, but I'm sure he's doing that heart symbol thing with his hands in front of his chest.
Yeah, I am.
So, okay. Also,
How prepared were you with Ying?
What do you mean?
Well, I mean, she seems like an interesting character. I don't know if it was planned or not, and if Garst actually thought about her personality and stuff. So I'm wondering about that.
I did.
And also the prepared question for the nipples.
Oh, God. Why do you think you kind of had to see? I'll come back to that. So you just started like opening up random Google tabs, like, do furries have 6 nipples? And just like, I need to know this internet. This is important.
It was something it was something I'd have to contemplate on, because
no time for private browsing.
because unlike some of the other denizens in Isol, she is not cursed to look the way she is. That's how she was born and how she always looked. She was naturally born and looks that way.
She's naturally furry.
She's basically a foxy tabaxi.
She's a fantastic Mrs. Fox. Movie's amazing.
So, she is I'll say this, the byproduct of an interesting union between two people who loved each other.
Goddamn droids.
Don't do it. Don't do that now.
Come on, you like the thought.
No, I don't. I'm not about to go there. Start fucking. This is why I'm glad I didn't include fucking furries in my game. I'm about to go research this shit. Swear to God, one of you played at Tabaxi, I would have just had to smite you down every single time. Just a crusader coming in just to kill that one furry. It's like, what I do wrong? You exist, you heretic.
I think actually the Tabaxi has just 2 nipples, so you know, whatever.
Not in this world.
This is what we're talking about. This is actually what we're conversation involved to. How many nipples does a fucking person have?
Yeah.
I'll give you him. I have 73. I'm not sure about you guys.
I think the ultimate question you should ask is, how many does a beholder have?
A beholder? He is a nipple.
No,
He
no
is
nipples.
a floating nipple with an eyeball.
Actually, I think he's a floating testicle.
Actually,
teeth.
there's a thing called nipples theory about childbirth. I don't know if you heard about it.
No,
I am
I don't.
scared.
Yeah.
What are we devolving into?
So
Essentially,
Questions. Aren't we supposed to be a talk
yeah.
show?
this is talk show. This is talk show thingy.
This is
Essentially,
chaos.
You should
Guys,
possibly
fuck your game. We're
have.
talking about nipples. Fuck your game. We're
No.
talking about nipples
No,
now.
go ahead, Tara.
Come on, man. Tell me that you're interested.
I'm not interested in it. There's only one set of nipples I'm interested in. I'm not. I can't reach him right now. Done.
Okay. Well, I'm excited about it. Okay.
Go ahead and ask your question, though, Tara. It's not like we have any other questions coming in.
I question. I'm just trying to word it properly.
In your
Really
experience, throughout playing different games and such, do you have a memory of someone who totally didn't fit the character? Like the player was something and the character was something absolutely different?
Um,
I have an example of that actually, if you want.
sure, go ahead.
I played in real life with a person who played a bar, really charismatic character on paper. But he had problem to actually go to the innkeeper and ask for directions. So he was like, okay, I would like to go to the innkeeper, yeah, and ask for directions for blah. And the DM was like, okay, so how do you ask? Well, hi, innkeeper, I'd like to know directions to City X. Really, and how would you like to get there? Or do you have some preference? It was like that all the time. It was horrible.
Yeah. Okay. Hmm. I can't say I've ever had anyone like that.
Surprisingly though, I think I can come up with an example. So I was running a one shot for the Sunday game. There's this one person playing a basically a rogue. The whole one shot concept was a bank heist, and the person playing a rogue, their idea of scouting out the bank to try and get a better idea how things work there was, okay, I go over there. I'm like, all right, cool, yeah. Doesn't even try like anything on the outside of the building. Even though I had stuff set up for a way to get up to the rooftop and have access, but just goes up to the main one of the people at the bank and is just like, all right, I would like to open an account. Opens an account stuff, and then it's like, okay, I'm gonna go to the bathroom. All right, and then goes to the bathroom, and then just like the only thing they do there is like, do they have a window there? I'm like, there's no windows. It's like an indoor bathroom that's sealed off. And they're like, okay. And then I head back to the base operations. I'm like, I'm trying to think like, come on, really the only thing you had planned as a rogue, sneak around who can. There's a lot of things I had prepped for someone preemptively going there before a day before the heist to go and like scout out everything. There was like skylights up on top. There were roof exits. There's 100 different ways to tackle this, and he just doesn't know how to play a rogue apparently. And then when he writes characters, they're also one-dimensional, and
Ooh.
they just always feel off. Like one of his backup character, which we sometimes in Sunday game we swapped around characters a lot because let's just say it was a very hectic game, and we also wanted to make sure that the backups would be viable. Because I mean, I didn't switch to Kai just to switch to Kai to see if he'd be the right character. I think he's kind of underwhelming, but I'm sticking to him because I enjoy playing Kai. I think compared to the rest of the party and what things do and all that, I think he's a slightly underwhelming and still has his time to really shine. But I think with that person, he just doesn't really know how to play different types of characters other than, I am anime, Omae wa Mushinderu. No, I'm not kidding.
Oh no, it's just so funny. Okay, so
the best way I could
think your Kai is the second best at explosions.
Yeah. Wait, what's first?
Finn?
No, the only thing he has going for me explosion-wise was Fireball. One more thing was that when he played a separate character as well, he had to play a low intelligence character, and so I had to just kind of like tell him, like, dude, your background is soldier, not your personality. Please. I was playing with him. I wasn't DMing that game.
It's like, you should have seen the wars I've been in. Countless bodies spread out on the ground.
No, it wasn't even that. It was all just like only listens to orders from the people, doesn't kind of do anything on his own or anything like that. And I'm just like, your background is soldier, not your entire personality. Do something there. If you don't, I will come over to whatever fucking country you live in and just start belting you to death.
Bleh, bleh. All right, so I got a couple questions for you both.
Nice.
Wait. Character.
Character.
You didn't give us one that didn't, fellow player or someone you DM for.
Man,
Very good, Kyle.
I'm having a hard time thinking of one. I guess. Oh, 1 sec. Sorry, had to mute some music, start playing out loud. So, I guess, before you arrived, Tara, Jen probably remembers the character a bit. I had a player who had a...
Hey, Fable.
Hey,
I'm
Fable.
alive. I'm alive.
Yay, welcome.
Hey, Fable.
I'm here. Something fell and then I fell on the floor and everything's fine.
Oh, God.
No,
Yeah.
I literally just fell off my seat. Nothing. I'm not hurt or anything. It was just embarrassing if it is anything.
Yeah.
Don't worry, I know the feeling.
So,
you were saying, Karst?
yeah, as I was saying.
Don't worry, Fable. We already had talk about nipples.
Okay.
So, what, I had one player who was wanting to play a sorcerer, and this is what kind of started making me regret allowing, like, even more allowing, like, homebrew or UA stuff. They wanted to play, a Phoenix origin sorcerer, and they would basically have a split personality thing going on, where
I remember this. Yeah.
where
Told me about.
well, I had two split personality characters. One was a monk, now this one was a sorcerer. Which they can be fine if they're played by the right person who can handle it. But it's just yeah, their character they were playing was... Wait, why does it keep skipping next?
I'm skipping it 'cause I'm trying to get to that thing, but it turns out you loaded up an entire like playlist. Oh, 70 trip. Okay.
Oh, let it play. So, but yeah, so the character they're playing normally would be kind of like a young child, probably like preteen. But when they would get into combat, their body would basically be enveloped in fire and change into like a full-grown adult, and would be more of a serious personality. And it's a really hard thing, because they would their personality and their character would just swap all the time, constantly, basically just fit however they wanted stuff to go. There was no rhyme or reason to it, and it was just chaotic.
How is that player not fitting the character? or playing the character well?
Because they didn't. It's because basically they were just trying to play something that was. Well, I'm trying to think about this way to put it. Because I'm not trying to diss the player at all, because the player was a good player. They just.
Share music, sorry.
I know they wanted to try to do something different, but it's usually for split personality characters or ones that are like that. There's often like some rhyme or reason to it, or some trigger that happens that causes, the shift. Now that was loud.
What was that?
What happened?
I guess you couldn't hear that. Good to know. I need to turn that down later. We got a new follower.
Well, I heard something from you.
Yeah, I was coming over my headset. We got a new follower.
Nice.
Alright, nice.
Here's the thing. From how you describe it, I'm gonna say this. It sounds like a character trying something for the sake of trying something, rather than trying to try something because
Mhm.
something cool can come out of it. You know?
Yeah.
Like I do have. It's not really a split personality character. I'm sure you've heard me talk all about
Oh yeah.
Emmett,
Yeah.
Calvin, and Emmett, which were Drow elves who were infused together as one. They were twins who were infused together. They used to be part of a circus act, and and then they were infused together. So whenever they talk, there's always like they always sounds like people talking at the same time. Is kind of how I described it. As well as they always said we. This belongs to us. And when someone says Cal or someone says Emmett, they only say sure you don't need the other. Like they throw in little quips like that.
Yeah.
And yes, referring to them, you say they because literally two people together.
Yeah. So yeah, that's a better example of kind of how to play something like that. Yeah, for this one it was just just kind of chaotic. It's like the person swapped to the more adult form whenever they wanted, just to be more of a serious asshole, willing to
See,
push buttons and cause problems.
yeah, I think if you're gonna be
And
doing
then
something
when things were
that-
getting a little bit too heated, they would swap back to the kids, like, "Oh, you wouldn't hurt a child," kind of thing.
that's kind of. See, if you're gonna be doing something like that, what you want to do is you want to keep a little post-it note on your PC or on screen or whatever.
Mhm.
Keep a little post-it note saying like, what are the different triggers that would cause the person to turn into this person?
Hmm.
Yeah, that
'Cause
feels
I've
metagamey.
It feels. What do you mean? It feels. How do you mean it feels metagame?
I mean, you would turn into the adult form to actually protect the child, not the other way around.
Yeah.
But what if you have different triggers for certain things that happen? Like if a certain thing happens, then it would a little swap thing to whoever if they weren't already like the one present.
Not
What I'm
always.
saying is
But
what
yeah.
I'm saying is that there needs to be at least consistency with this. It can't just be I want to do this right now kind of thing. I want to have adult person here to go
Yeah.
stab this person, then switch back to the child. Oh, you wouldn't do that.
They basically, the way I put it is they need their Hulk trigger.
Mhm.
So, you had questions?
Yes. And I think I forgot them.
I'm sorry.
Okay. What were your guys' thoughts when, besides of being attacked in the middle of the night, but finding out that the goal was not to end your life, but mainly to keep you away?
He's reasonable. That was my thought.
He done fucked up. That's
No,
my
he-
thought.
Now he fucked
Okay.
up. Now he fucked up. He has fucked
No,
up now.
yeah. We went to
But-
talk to him.
But
We
here's the
went
thing: he
to-
could have easily put us out completely in our sleep with something like that. Just come on, just grab one of Kai's random inventions, just kind of jig a screwdriver in, and all of a sudden the whole place is gone.
Okay.
Let's be honest. He
We
could have
went to
easily
talk
taken.
to them. We could have at least approached Serena. He knows Serena and our friendship. We
True.
joke about it all the time. So instead of even sending a messenger, he's sending out someone to knock us out. He's done
I
fucked
don't.
up.
He's. It doesn't seem like he wants to talk. Is the thing. I think he just wants to get his thing done, but he doesn't want to kill anyone in the way. He just wants to get what he wants done and then move on. Is what it seems like. Is he kind of a dick for doing that? Yeah, he could have easily just sent like a message and just like, "Hey, can you just not?" But it seems to be more of his methods. It doesn't sound stable.
Then again, Fable could have sent some sending message by now. Hey, we want to talk.
I don't want to talk. You must
You
burn.
still got the weapon we need. Can we
Just
talk?
start purging the heretics. Isn't that right, Fable?
Yes, you
Ketchup
must
on
be
the ice
purged.
cream.
Bring back.
Come on,
peace.
Serena. I mean, Fable.
Vegas
Heretic.
fault.
It's too cold to eat ice cream here, Tara. I would love ice cream in the cold, but I think it might be not the right environment for it.
Can we get some hot strawberries?
Oh my
Whatever.
goodness gracious.
Yeah, you wouldn't get brain freeze. You just get full on just hypothermia.
Right?
What about
Oh,
some
this one.
tiramisu?
How did this one die? Oh well.
Hey guys, just kind of
Yeah,
to see this like spilled over pink stuff on the ground. Strawberry swirl.
they snuck it into a sandwich.
Sandwich, yeah, sandwich. So, okay. All right. Second question, for you all.
Mm-hmm.
With tensions and things running high, in the party, for the players, what has been one of the more emotional times in the game for you? Like, what has kind of sparked the biggest positive or negative emotion that you can remember?
Polly almost dying, it sparked a kind of loss/rage Serena has never actually felt before. I think that was pretty obvious, but yes. That probably for her would have triggered something she never thought would be in her, a kind of rage that she never knew would have ever existed if not for that special event that happened.
I think, because there's definitely, for me, there's it's two moments where I had the most like heightened kind of like holy shit moments, which would have been talking to the Emperor because it's the first time, it's really the first time I have actually done something where I used a charismatic character to talk someone and talk to someone. I know it's out there, it's a concept that's never been explored before. The Paladin knows more than just Eldritch Smite, but but for that kind of moment where he was just able to just he brought the Emperor to his own level, and he was talking to him on his own terms and was actually able to get the Emperor to not only listen but change the game completely for that. Which, Karst, I'm still pissed that you didn't level me up. You didn't level us up then, because that was a moment and a half. I am pissed off about that. You should have. As soon as I heard, okay, you're not quite there yet, I literally just threw my desk just across the room. Which at the time, it didn't actually have a desk; it was a plastic table.
Sorry.
That poor plastic table's never been the same.
Oh no, that's the same plastic table. If you remember when Wajih got piece eaten by Gluttony, that's the same one where I was slamming my fist down. Where, I'm not sure if you guys remember, but it was just a very audible thunk, thunk, thunk noise.
Yeah, I remember that.
Because I had a plan. I'm like, all right, I got haste. I'm harder to hit. And I also have Misty Step ready. So I can just like attack, Misty Step away. And then the thing happens where my laptop just fucks off. And then Wajir is like, okay, so he's gonna make sure to stand right in front of the mouth, perfect distance away from like, you know, munching, because he looks like this piece is a snack, as we all know. Like, I love Wajir, but he has some bad judgment calls so many times. Second moment, getting back on track, the second moment that was really emotional for me, which Karst, you actually made me fucking cry, how fucking dare you, which was Ordiv just showing up randomly. Because at first I thought it was like some sick prank by Polly, and I'm like, yeah, Polly might do the thing. And then Polly was just there, and I'm like, oh fuck! Because it was really late at night, and I'm just like there, I'm like, Karst wouldn't just that has to be it for me, at least.
Okay.
Those two.
I can understand those.
There were very many moments I was said, is it for character or for player?
Something that kind of touched you, like you kind of felt your character's emotions yourself. And it could
Well,
be positive or negative.
killing the wizard was fun.
You just have a hatred towards Wajir.
Just
And
go,
Ethan.
going full on assassin. Okay.
The whole thing just going, in and pretending to be the old lady and then the soldier and then was saying stuff like, oh, she's running around naked. That was funny for me, so... Yeah, so... But there were some emotional moments that really hit both Mercy and me. I mean, the success of getting away the teleportation crystal from the Wraith, I think it was.
Oh, from Wrath.
Yeah, that was really nice success.
That was. Yeah, I mean,
The failing of the
yeah,
Oh,
'cause
damn.
I was rolling terribly on his perceptions, and yeah, oh man, yeah. Because usually Wrath is very perceptive, but man, no, it's like I couldn't seem to roll high enough for him to notice Laya at all.
the chaos because of the cabin.
Sorry, what?
With the chaos because of the cabin.
Oh,
Infiltrating, doing stuff, killing one of the geese people.
Oh, the
That was
cabin,
interesting.
no, the lodge.
The lodge,
resort.
yeah.
so not
Yep.
Wrath. Oh, the nobles.
Yeah, before we came to the island,
Yeah,
to the Empire. That was interesting.
yeah, that was. Oh man.
The one
That's
where
what-
Pete headbutted Finn because Finn decided, let me throw this body out this window over here and not think of consequences. And then he had to like really work into like, let's play this off and see if we can get these people to think they just passed out drunk from last night.
And dispel magic and different groups doing 3 different things.
Peace
And
and
then-
Dara having to act like they're in a relationship and actually like just like trading smack right away, just like going out there. It's like, how do we get the people to go away? Kiss me.
You know, something I did like about that was the fact that when we were fighting the nobles, Peace literally Misty Step cut the arm off one of the nobles and was just like, no tears, only memes or something like that. And I'm like, why is this a thing with you?
I'm just like, no more tears, only memes, and I just like crushed the thing.
Right? Like, that's like just the most randomest thing you've ever done.
And then the finding of Laya's family. And
Oh,
no
man.
one, not even one person being kind enough to let them die.
Excuse me. Peace doesn't know about what your family did and all that stuff until after they were gone. Like, oh, we should let them. You just like
She
start
asked,
saying, okay, we
don't
should-
go there. She asked, don't go there. Let them be. Let it be. Still went there, still saved them.
Yeah, he didn't explain anything. How do you expect us to just like right away just do this stuff right away? Like, oh, he just told us not to go there. Let's just not do that. This whole place that
Exactly,
you
that's
were
the
trying to
thing.
save.
They didn't trust Laia to do anything she asked.
I don't think it was like that though.
Wasn't that?
Yes, it was like that.
Maybe to her, but to us it really wasn't.
So then they failed religion check.
Oh yes, the religion check at
And it was really nice of you guys to actually have a small ceremony for her, and I wasn't happy with hers going on and letting him just, pretend she's dead.
I
But it
wasn't
was part of
either.
Yeah, that was kind of a dick move,
yeah,
Cars.
I regret that.
Good.
But-
I have all the regrets.
I
Well, let it
told,
go because,
Mhm.
it was part of the story.
yeah, again, as I've been trying to tell you, Cars, I know you're trying to teach us that actions have consequences, that we have to be careful, that you might kill us one day. But I would get that if we were literally a party of assholes that kept just doing everything and not knowing that that we were probably gonna die if we made a mistake. But we
We
do
knew.
know that.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Peace. Almost every like really serious battle has been always on the brink of death, and I know that could be the end of him every single time because I play Peace. Would be. He is reckless, but he's reckless in a way where it's controlled chaos. He tries to keep everything maintained, but also say fuck it to it all and go and stab the giant fucking wolf or something. No.
Oh, come on. Peace
Wait.
was saved by Laia and Serena more times than you can count.
Wait, controlled
Yeah,
chaos?
I know.
Oh my god, he is an inverse Shadow the Hedgehog.
Oh my
No.
god.
Instead of black and red,
Tara,
he's
I've
red
never-
and black.
Tara,
Oh!
I've never said that he was never saved from that, and he was never saved by Serena and Laia. I never said he was never saved. I just said he's completely reckless. Yes, I'm playing him how he would be reckless.
Yeah.
The last
He
few sessions
takes
were
peace.
really emotional. I mean, P surviving his trial by lava,
Trial by
getting
lava.
married. Laia's
do
little
miss playing-
revelation about the kid, and Philemore actually accepting it and giving the powers back.
I
And
do
giving a
miss
present
playing-
of different birds and animals.
I do miss playing Peace, but I think I need to kind of put him aside for a bit because I think he's had his time long enough.
Cried a few times already in the last few months. These sessions.
Aw,
Same.
that's good.
Yeah.
Your tears fuel me.
Peace has found something happiness. Serena's slowly breaking down.
Which is why I'm
Laia
thinking of bringing him back because I think that's what you need right now. I think the most thing Serena needs right now is peace, which is why I'm thinking of bringing him back.
Actually, it's funny. The only two people I think that can actually help her deal with it are Wei. Mogash, who literally had anger issues for a lot of his life.
And
And
peace was
Peace.
literally he could just like he could talk and then you get scratched off of the edge that he emits.
Yes.
I am
You could try
thinking of
talking with
having.
Mercy.
I am thinking if Kars would allow, of course, if this whole situation over here, Kai is just kind of working with Master Oogway. I'm just doing this just for you, Tara.
Damn it.
Uh,
I
kind of
regret
work
so
with-
much.
Kind of do his own thing because he's already a character who's just kind of distant from the party completely, anyways. So I was thinking of having, if there's any way to have Peace swing by, kind of like just kind of play him for a short while until we're done with the Temple of whatever.
Why didn't you talk with Doric? I mean, helped Mercy.
Hmm? Oh well. Kai's
That's
in a rough
for Serena.
spot right now. No, it helped Mercy, but Kai isn't the. Kai was more. There's. How do I say this? Kai's kind of already distancing himself from everything. Seemed like Torig was more infatuated with kind of judging Kai from that one talk than he was with than he was with actually just trying to talk with Kai and like get to know him better. That's why he kind of already distances himself from Thorig. It
Well, let's
seems
be
like
honest,
Mercy is more interested in making fun of Kai a lot more than she is of learning more about him. So that's already pushing that. Finn just kind of like, okay, kid, I'm gonna go over there now and never speak to my 3,000-year young nephew or do the thing that Peace asked me to. See ya, bye.
That's not
Serena's
true.
already seemed busy. It's to him. It seems like Finn is just not avoiding him directly, but they're just
Finn is avoiding everyone equally.
You know, Tara's
Not
not
really.
wrong.
I don't see that. I don't think he's avoiding everyone equally.
Well, I mean, Mercy, you fucked up with Mercy several times.
Yeah, I know. Is it the
You
multiple
always
almost? Is it the multiple almost TPKs, or is it the many times Mercy suddenly has a fucking innuendo and then just like, oh, how am I supposed to respond to that with the most fucking awkward character I've ever had?
Yeah, Kai.
Oh,
It's
come
deep-
sit on my come ride me. I mean my wolf.
Yeah, Kai,
How does one respond to that?
yeah, Kai's got the charisma and social abilities of a doll.
A stray cat that is just kind of being ignored constantly already.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
the TPKs and the always going away when she wanted to talk seriously, and always shutting down the doors between them. So I seem to be responding only to jokes.
Well, yeah, he's distancing himself from everyone at the moment, just kind of trying to do his own thing, because he's more
That's not
hanging
good
out.
for him.
Yes, I know. Thank you. Congratulations on that observation. I applaud you with a pair of binoculars. But like, distancing himself is because he's really sticking with the party at the moment because it's a big shot to try and get out there more and see the world.
Okay, but let's be fair. Even I had a character who could have distanced herself and just went away with Finn and
Yeah, but she
done
had
such.
her. She had her
No,
time.
she changed because I made her change.
Well, that's the difference between you and me. I don't make my characters just change just a whim, just because not.
I found a reason where it's reasonable for her to change and shifted her a bit in that area.
I haven't had that with Kai.
You didn't because you didn't find one.
Or just one,
Yeah,
not one
no.
has really presented one to Kai personally. I mean, like, or resonated with Kai on a certain level.
Like, I think one thing that also hit him hard was the talk about, oh, we could take these to the Smiths in the town, and he's just kind of like standing there, like, okay, I guess I'll just not do anything. Like the whole time, he's just kind of there standing around with his tools constantly on his bandolier and like pouches and different things. And then everyone's just like, let's take these different materials and go to the Smith over here. And he's like, okay. Like, that's kind of why is that like he feels like, for the first time ever, he feels like the useless one. That's why he's distancing himself. That's why he's not finding his big moment to change. It's because he hasn't been presented with one. He hasn't had a moment where it's like, yes, this is me. This is what I can do. I am confident again. You, woman, let us go date or something. And then, like,
Date? What?
I'm just making a joke. And,
Wing Bros!
So, so
doesn't work.
basically, Kai needs his moment where he's, the repairman coming in saying, "I heard you need your pipes fixed," or something. Sorry.
How do I delete someone from their own Discord server? How do
I
how
don't
do I
know.
ban someone from their own Discord server? Hold on, let me Google this. I want to see if I can like
I'm a
mass report you by
plumber.
myself.
I came to fix your plumbing.
BRB, I'll be back in a minute, guys.
Okay.
Well, it's nice knowing you all.
You're dead, Cast.
That's what they said last time, He-Man.
Guess I'll have to think about it. I don't have anything you could probably.
Yeah, those kind of key defining character moments are, well, they should be often far and few between. It's just the character should grow. They shouldn't be stagnant. Always be something like with Serena. It was great that she was always a kind and bubbly, gentle person. Uh, and she shouldn't have to stop being that. But allowing herself to feel anger, rage, uh, and coming to terms with how to deal with that, to cope with it, is a character growth of her own.
It's not. It's evil, and I cry every time.
It's
That's true.
it's a
And
good.
she used to be crazy.
I,
I'm
s-
crazy.
I see the light.
I
And
see the light
and
going from you.
I told you multiple times. I told Charles ahead of time that I wanted to play a character who literally had no idea what these things meant, like what her powers meant, and I feel like I played it fine. It's just you
Yeah.
jerks thought she was crazy.
oh no, this is that's I think that's just
Main
well.
Kai and Serena would have to be that one was a sheltered child who had everything protected, and the other was a sheltered child who almost got killed multiple times by things he's done.
Yeah. As I see it, like for Peace too, he went from being an edge boy in a new world, not the one he last saw, a world of death and devastation, and has found out that the land he came from is long gone. Everyone he knew is long gone, except for Finn. And has kind of come to terms with that, but still harbored those ghosts of past, always lingering with him from the people who couldn't save, to now having new people he cares about that he's doing everything he can to protect, but also has found a new place here in this current time for him. He's found love and now family. So it's a Peace has had a good character growth himself. Same with Laya. She's gone from being a very cold, distant, non-caring kind of person, more often interested in playing things off as a joke instead of or causing chaos, to being a very kind of a lot kinder and more responsible person. I think just from how I've seen it, I think Serena and everyone else has kind of had an effect on Laya. True, near the end, before that failed religion save, there was that bit of feelings of distrust or well, yeah, I guess distrust is the best way to put it, in Laya's choices. But I don't know, it's been interesting to see how it's gone. And man, everyone's characters so far have really gone through changes themselves. Mogash going from angry boy to what he is now. Gar being the kind of reclusive, non-social person to being more sociable and take charge. Though she doesn't want
more ways than one.
Yeah, though she still does not want to be a leader, she's not afraid to take charge.
Still the biggest dick in the group. Still has the biggest dick.
And-
It's not.
And Finn is, well, Finn.
It's gotten worse, Cars. He keeps asking for long rests and short rests. And every game,
Baron!
every game, he keeps
It
asking.
makes me go insane where he's just like
He's a
Windows.
sleepy boy. He's just sleepy. A lot.
no, it's just like I've wasted all my spell slots doing a thing. I'm like, maybe that's a you problem who hasn't prepared for this. I'm sorry, Mr. Bajillion fucking spell slots, who before he got his fucking Nexus abilities were like, I have a spell that can do that. I have another spell that can do that. I have a spell. Kar's gonna have the Nexus stuff.
Yeah.
And I was just kind of sitting there like, dude, calm the fuck down. And then he was gonna start asking about some of like the feats of like, oh, he was gonna start asking about like feats. Hey, Cars, can I have this? He was gonna ask legitimately, Cars, can I take this feat that lets me concentrate on 2 spells at once? And I was about, even I told him like, no. Concentration spells are fucked broken if you can concentrate on more than one at once.
The
They are.
scary thing about that is if you had the Ioun Stone, it's possible.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, but that's an item that's like legendary, and that can break really easily because all it takes is like, me ogre, me see shiny thing around person, I hit shiny thing,
Whack.
and then it's gone forever.
Depends. Ogres are really dumb dumbs.
Yeah, exactly. They
We
would go for
used
the
to have
shiny
it,
rather than
actually.
you.
We
You
used
guys
to
have
have it
an
actually. Galil Stone.
You guys had an Ioun stone? Holy shit.
You said Ioun, but we had Galil.
Mhm.
That's Gar's alternative.
I don't remember the full name. I just know that that was one of the items that could do that. That could let her, that you could hold concentration on that and then use another concentration spell, so
Yeah.
you'd be able to do double the damage or whatever.
So.
I'm kind of glad it's gone. I think Finn would abuse it, and if not him, I would have been like, all right, so maybe we should put this in Evolved or something, or give it to Charity.
So-
Because I know for sure Serena can't abuse
Give it to
anything.
So you guys have fought in a multitude of enemies and have a multitude
Mhm.
of encounters.
Yeah.
Which one has been one of your favorites?
Oh, that is tough. Me.
Spiders!
Get fucked. Go away. Do not pass go. Go directly to Jimmy. Do not
Oh.
take $200.
Oh,
Do not
I-
pass go.
I have one, but it wasn't necessarily an encounter where we rolled initiative. It was the one where we were trapped in the sandstorm, and you told me there was a gaping mouth, like at the bottom of the pit, opening and closing,
no.
trying to eat everything.
Oh no.
I just in my head, the image of Serena with wings, with lightning wings, and literally throwing lightning into the hole was like the best thing in my head.
Okay.
You just see image. I know it wasn't combat based, but
Oh yeah, no.
I just
that's
love
fine.
that. That was my favorite encounter, like honestly, because that just seems so cool. And like, never in 1,000 years could I imagine my sweet idiot character Serena being like,
Honestly, for peace, it has to be the fire, because he saw that thing and he was like,
The
"All
what?
right, big boy," just kind of like twirled his sword a little bit. Let's go.
Oh, the fire giant.
The fire giant, you know what I'm talking
Yeah.
about, where we got the sword from after we got the belt.
Mhm.
And when that came up, when he was fighting just the fire giant, just piece 1v1ing it, and then he went for the 5 attack thing that actually killed it, I was like, that's so cool. It was the coolest fight ever, especially because like pieces kind of, well, he's tall, but he's kind of lanky at the same time. And so it was just like this 6'2" tall dude fighting this, what was probably this like, what Cars would be like 20 feet tall giant,
Yeah.
and then just triumphantly winning. It was one of the coolest
2
fights for him.
words. Thunderbird season!
No.
I always wondered
I-
what happened to that amazing athletic grandma.
Yeah.
That was one thing where it's like it was like the most obvious thing, but because we technically still had to roll, we were just like, this man and woman following us who are just kind of like like going around. I wonder who they are. and we just had to like for the whole like what 2 sessions just kind of sit there like I wonder who they are. Can I just roll investigation or like intelligence check cards? It's like fail, like okay, and then even the wizard fails. God damn it! It was
Hey,
like the one
yeah,
thing where I was just like, come on.
yeah. I mean, I know it, but you gotta play it still.
I know you gotta play it, but it seemed like the most very just like this is honestly all the stars aligned kind of set of like coincidences
you
that
never-
has just happened.
They could have been former adventurers who eventually retired, but saw this happening and just felt like they had to do their part to help. The old adventurer blood kicking in.
Gosh, there's a cliff
Adrenaline
nearby.
season!
Gosh, there's a cliff nearby. Take that idea and throw it off of it.
Never.
Uh,
Oh my gosh. Okay.
Actually, the most interesting fight would have been, I think, the God Boy, the Greed. Was it?
Oh. Okay. Yeah. Yeah. Greed. Yeah. Jalal.
Yeah.
What
yeah.
was that? What was that?
Karst, this is not what I meant by I want to be inside of a Dragonborn. The best quote until now, in my opinion. Peace.
Because you had some special abilities that made it tougher, and we missed all the time, and
Hmm.
he was really tanky.
He was. Yeah, he
But we
was.
won.
He was meant to be tanky. Wrath was supposed to be tougher. But
We kind of like, because of all other things, we just kind of like planned it out smart. I'm like, okay, we'll use all our AoE stuff really quickly while he's still far away.
yeah, you guys played smart. I mean,
And we took away his gem.
Mm-hmm. That was another thing that really helped it because he would have gotten away and we would have had another sin to deal with again. But because of Laya, helped keep him there. Laya and Finn, I think, were the highlights of that fight, just because Finn keeping us alive, because I'm sure that massive sphere of
necrotic energy.
yeah, would have just like one shot. I think Peace at that point because he was like less than a third of health. I'm sure Gar could have tanked it, but and I know Serena doesn't have the most HP either. I think it would have killed most of us.
Yeah, it was definitely one of his all or nothing attacks.
Mm-hmm.
Basically, he was fed up with you guys and was just really upset and just wrathful, and just wanted to end this.
I also remember the old fight with Kerfang.
Oh yeah, wait, yeah.
With all the wormlings and everything,
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Oh yeah, his wyvern horde.
As we almost died there, and Mogash did the ultimate.
Yeah. Oh, that was a thing. Oof. But now it's kind of funny looking back on that and now seeing Kurt Fang being Laya's business partner, basically.
I do have a question for everyone.
Good persuasion.
And an expansion for the DMs of this group.
Mhm.
Sorry, Tara. But it's an expanded part of the question. But main question is, what is one of the things that like playing wise, it's not like races or like what spells or anything that you just really dislike about D&D? If you want, I'll start about this to give an example and just kind of help explain my question.
Sure.
And expansion for the DM's part is that something that you wouldn't include in your game because you yourself don't like? Start off, I hate dungeon crawls. I think they're so monotonous. It's like we spend like 3 to 4, sometimes 3 sessions, and not in your game, Karst. You somehow manage to do it decently well. I still really hate dungeon crawls. But in other games, when there's a dungeon crawl and we sit there for 3, 4, 5 sessions, same dungeon, which is all supposed to technically be taking place within like the span of like a few hours, I'm just like, just let it end. And that's why, Karst, in the Monday game, when you guys went to that place, it wasn't a dungeon crawl because I was gonna plan out encounters and stuff. I'm like, this is gonna be really monotonous. I'm just gonna I'm just gonna have you guys just get to the place really quickly. Maybe one or two things try and jab at you if you guys step in the wrong place or do the wrong thing, which has happened.
My feelings.
Yeah. So, yeah, that's the question.
Okay. Let's see. Things I don't like as a player or DM.
As a player, which led to you not doing it as a DM.
I guess I don't really like the idea of the critical fail backfiring.
Oh, I know exactly what you mean. It's another thing that I don't include in my game.
There's no critical fail in 5e. That's a homebrew rule.
Yeah, this is something I experienced as a player, and I just didn't like
I can
it.
give examples of that too, which were really annoying too.
So I decided like I didn't want to implement that for my game. I mean, yes, if you fail with a bad miss, I might make it seem kind of funny, but I won't disadvantage you in a way or hurt someone else.
It's kind of like the reason you fail is this stars align kind of like situation that just happened of why you failed, but other than that, you don't do anything extra with it.
Yeah.
I had a DM who really loved doing these failures, and I had them as a ranger. So, for example, I had a thing where I failed critical fail on the attack.
Mm-hmm.
Rolled 1, and he said, "Okay, so you cut yourself. Roll 1d6 because it's your sword, and you threw your sword 35 feet away from you."
Yeah.
What?
Huh.
Why?
That's
How?
one thing. I had that when I was playing a pugilist.
Then there
Basically,
was
a fighter type of monk, more of a strength-based than a dex-based character, and then DM's like, okay, so you hit yourself. I'm like, how? And it's like, well, when you're going in, you actually hit your ribcage. No, the person's on the floor. The only place my fist can go is straight downward, not to the left or right.
Then there was a moment when I failed critical fail with a bow. Okay, your string is gone. Your bow is useless. I hope you bought extra strings.
Jeez. Oh.
The worst DM ever.
Wow. Yeah, that's pretty bad.
How about you, Serena?
I've actually been trying to think about it. I guess. I guess one thing I don't like is how certain monsters are broken or don't fit like the CR they're supposed to be a part of. I've had DMs who literally use certain monsters who are kind of way deadlier than the party can handle at their level, and when kind of called out on it, they're like, "Oh, it's part of a random encounter," or "It's just what this area has." It's just like, yeah, but didn't you try to balance it? And they're like, "Oh, I did balance it," but it just, to me, that just seems really stupid. I guess. I'm not the biggest fan of combat in D&D, mostly because I guess as a person, I prefer more like a roleplay sense of the story. But I understand that combat is necessary. I just sometimes in my head, and the way I try to do it in my game, I try to limit combat to where it feels like the players have a challenge, but it's not to the point where it feels like I'm out to kill them, if that makes sense. You know what I mean?
Okay.
Like, not where I sent monsters that are way above their level where they can handle it.
Okay.
That I guess to sum it up, I prefer balanced encounters instead of broken ones where, say you have a group of 5 players and they're all level 5 and you send a roper at them. To me, that seems kind of unfair because a roper is like CR 4 or something when, in fact, it can do so much stuff, and when you're grappled by it, you're restrained, which makes sense. But if you want to try to hit the tentacle, it literally has a high AC, and you can miss while trying to hit the roper, and then it's like, oh, I'm gonna take a bite at you. Does a 27 hit? All right, so you take 20 points of damage.
And it's like a level 5 character that's like,
And-
all right, there goes all of my HP.
That goes like half of
Yeah.
your HP, especially if you're not like Menamaxing or anything. And like Ropers to me are one of the most unbalanced creation, and I just don't like that about D&D is
So
how
I need to throw
Yeah.
ropers at you guys.
I will kill
Cars-
you,
cars at our level we can destroy them.
I-
I will use all my lightning on them. But
I-
no, like
That's actually another thing that I know I keep kind of butting in, but
Yeah.
my game, it's not that I don't like combat. It's just I think combat should be there where it's really, really necessary and always avoidable.
yeah.
Combat, no matter what, is avoidable. So what I do is that basically, with how all the sessions go, is that the characters are all in a certain main area, and they're going back to the main town they were originally, where they started off with. I did a dumb and I pulled a cart and I just teleported them halfway across the map. That was me. That was me just starting out DMing. I'm like, oh god, I don't have any ideas and stuff, so that's what I did, which backfired heavily against me, but I was able to somewhat make it work. My players don't hate me.
That also leads up to my other thing. I've had D&D games where combat wasn't necessarily unavoidable. It just felt like that's all we could do. And after the combat, the DM at the time's just like, you guys can try to talk to the person you're fighting or like try to find another solution. The thing is, like the way he described it, it made it feel like we couldn't do anything but fight for our lives. Like, I don't like combat where it's just like you either fight or you die. You can't run away. You can't try to convince that that's not the combat. It's just I prefer if I had combat situations, I want to try to give my players options. Like if they want to try to convince the enemy that they're here to help them, like this is a misunderstanding, I would prefer to do that, not like, oh hey, it's either you fight this guy or I'm gonna kill you. Those are your only options. You can't
Remember
run.
the
you
DM we
can't-
had, Serena?
Mhm.
With everything, literally everything being avoidable combat.
Yeah.
The pub goblins and everything. Jeez.
DMs like
I
that
wanted-
are the type who would like they would like shoot a bow at a guard in Skyrim, then instantly sheathe their weapon. Like, see, I didn't do it. It's like, hey, you can't kill me now. I yielded. I yielded. Stop. Here's the
I
goal,
just-
I mean,
and then does it again.
I wanted to get into a combat at some point. We were level 6 and we had 1 or 2 battles.
I know, which is I guess all
That's
in all.
the other side of it.
I know, that's both sides, but I guess what I really want and what gets me the most is I know balancing is hard. Like balancing the decent combat is really hard. It's not easy because sometimes certain creatures are broken or the DM has to put a lot of work into it, but
Especially when it's a 1v6 kind of battle you're trying to go for, and then it's just like, how do you prolong this other than them just ganging up on it, just kicking him while he's down?
yeah. So yeah, that's kind of the situation I'm in. I can see both sides, and I guess to be honest, that's just something I don't like. It's either like one of those things where it's always avoidable, and then some players that like combat will be upset, and then some that don't like combat will be upset because there's too much, and it's finding the balance is a pain in the butt, if anything.
The way I have combat set is that you can't just avoid it when you're in combat. You know,
Yeah.
like that's how I think. That's like when you were in combat, you have started it and you are doing this. You are either going to die or live on this hill. And I make
Yeah.
it where combat is more of this like story type thing rather than it is of this like true like test of might. Except for when it comes, because I have it where there's like smaller encounters that every party could have during the place. Like, yes, Cars. Even in Millstone, you guys actually have a bunch of combat encounters waiting for you outside of the stone mill.
Of course we do.
If you guys went there, because I planned out for all this stuff. But the idea there is that these smaller combats are supposed to build up, be more of a telling about the place around them. When they're in this one city and they had a bunch of people who were trying to ambush this one guy, and they ambushed the ambushees. And how I had it happen was that they were pretty normal. They were very swashbuckler-like. They had multiple attacks. As long as they swung once, they could actually just free action disengage. You know.
Mm-hmm.
They had the 3 attacks because 2 attacks with one hand and then offhand. But they didn't deal that much damage because when I did scale the CR for the swashbuckler NPC, they would have dealt to like just to be a CR4. they would have had the same HP, which was just about the same average as the whole party together. So it's about like 47-ish HP. But they would have dealt like 4d6 damage with the rapier, which was obviously broken, which is why I scale it to be it's still just that weapon. It's not just going to do 4d6 damage out of nowhere because it's still just the weapon.
Mm-hmm.
The idea out of that combat wasn't that that you're gonna die. The idea was, hey, these people are literally going to fight you to the death because they're so fanatical about this, and even when they can see the odds are against them, they will not back down. Except for some, the smart ones, which I rolled for that, and you guys got lucky. It was actually the head honcho who was guiding these guys. Yes, I do roll for the smart one of the group, also known as he has a feat called Common Sense.
Ah, yes, the common sense feat, one that many adventurers do not have.
Yes.
Sorry it took so long. It's just I put a lot of
Yeah.
thought into my game, and I feel like it does help a lot of new
Oh,
DMs and
okay.
stuff, and a lot of different DMs.
Okay. So, let's see. I think
Mhm.
one final question from each of us, and I think we'll wrap up for today. Sound good?
Sure.
Sounds good.
All right. Any of you guys have a question?
I will withhold mine for now because I like talking for some reason.
Okay. All right. Tara, did you have any?
Ah, behold.
Okay.
Sounded like you have prepared something.
Possibly. I was just wondering if anyone else had any questions. Okay. So, let's see.
I think I have
Yeah.
one.
Go ahead. I'm trying to figure out how I want to phrase this.
Is it sex thing?
No,
No.
No.
it's an inquiry.
Why would it be that, Tara?
Because it's cursed.
It's not
You.
Lucian.
Da-da-da-da-da-da.
Oh my god.
Go ahead,
Alright.
Fable.
Alright, I guess okay, what is your favorite kind of character to play? By that I mean sometimes in D&D there's like a whole variety. There's like characters who you want to be strong or fast or even just a joke character that you made up and just do random stuff with. Like what kind of archetype is your favorite character to play as? One who's always silly or one who's strong and things like that.
Well, I've played a total of 5 characters so far.
Mm-hmm.
Across different games. And each one I always tried to play something different. And I will say I kind of like playing ones that are a bit more lighthearted. Not saying that they can't be serious or anything, but they just prefer to not be Batman serious all the time.
Yeah, gotcha.
I've seen Garud's Batman.
No,
I like playing sillier characters, but they often turn into characters who no one trusts. Klaya, like Moira, like Miriam, who are silly. But the other players or characters suddenly don't trust the judgment that if it's good. That makes me sad.
I guess it's me left, sir. My favorite kind of character to play are two different types. One would just be the general like old dog who's been around the bend for so long. He just like like if he's like a charlatan, he's known how to do this for so long that he just kind of like kicks back his feet while doing most of this, and he's just like oh, time to do the old. He just kind of like time to do the old script again. Just starts flipping through notes and seeing which one applies here and stuff. That kind of like he already knows how to do just about everything. He's his profession inquires and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And then there's also the unusual type, which would just be the wrong way to play the class that makes it so right. Like, and I've explained this, I think, last week when I was talking about my character Izzy, who was a hitman fighter who is sneaky, but also in a very rogue-like fashion, where it's less about like, let me just directly sneak in here. He's a changeling, so he will change ability and try and acquire as much information as possible right off the bat, just kind of chatting people up and everything, and then kind of become that person when he figures out everything he needs to, and that's how he sneaks into that person's, like, let's say, office or something. He's a hitman. And he's a fighter. He hits hard and stuff, and so that's his kind of his ruling on things is that, well, you don't have to kill people in one hit. You just got to make sure they can't fight back and then kill them then. But then he's just, again, a character that can be taken, he can do stuff seriously and all that. I just think my biggest issue with him, he didn't get his chance to shine because of the campaign he was in. I wanted him to be a type of character who didn't trust magic items and stuff, but the campaign was this, like, let's just say a min-maxer's power fantasy dream of a thing. Like, we're talking weapons that, like, there's a person who has a weapon because he got a belt of storm giant strength, and mind you, I was level 10 when I joined the party. Like, we were all level 10 when I joined that party. He had a belt of storm giant strength.
Ooh.
And he had what's it called? Great weapons master, so that extra 10 to all of his hits. So he does his 2 attacks, with his just normal 2 barbarian attacks. And he always has great weapon master on. His lowest roll on that fucking hammer is what was it again? I think it's like 20. His lowest roll is a 20, so he almost always hits something. And his damage is always average between 40 to 50 bludgeoning a hit. Yeah.
Damn.
That's how that game was rolling. And so me wanting to build a I don't trust magic items kind of character, because of my past and stuff, and I just don't like them. It just irks me the wrong way. I avoid them at all costs, and I would just kind of rather rely on myself instead of that, because he had this ability which was called Precision Strike, because it was a homebrew class, which on the first hit, if the target was unknowing of you, like actually being like aggressive towards them, you gain an extra like 3d10 or 4d10. It's kind of like a cantrip thing where it just like increases levels go up. You gain an extra like 4d10 plus proficiency of damage with that first hit, because it's supposed to be like, get him in one hit, go.
Yeah.
That's it. I couldn't play that how I wanted to play him. I have him in my vault saved, the original version of him, and I intend on bringing him back if I ever get the chance. My Sunday game is about to finish, so I might try and look for another one.
Okay.
Still tough to get DMs to agree on let me play a changeling, and I swear to God I won't break it, please. It's like Carson Warforged.
Yeah. So, alright, so a bit of a follow-up question to this one. Just out of, I guess, curiosity now. What, I guess it's more focused for, Peace and Serena. Do they, trust Laya still?
Yeah, of course.
Peace always trusted Laya, but when it comes to just like stuff like suddenly coming up and saying, okay, don't go in there's nothing there, that raises an eyebrow. When someone says something that raises an eyebrow, it's still going to inquire the character to want to, like, really? Like, he trusts Laya's judgments and Laya's calls and stuff, and, doesn't disregard her at all. And Yes, they've had their squabbles. It's because me and Tara can't resist making characters so similar they always hate each other. I still remember one of Kai's first words in this campaign. What you got there, feather cunt?
Jesus.
Yeah, that
It's
was not a great way to start.
Yeah, but what wasn't either a great way to start was, hey, he asked you guys to stop like looking through his stuff. Mogash was like, okay, after he broke something, but like, okay, and then Mercy was just continuously looking and disregards him in his own workshop.
She found something interesting.
Yes, you ask about it. You don't just sit there, just stick your nose in there. It's like, smells like an angry tiefling behind. Oh, and then threatens his mother. Let's not forget threatens his mother.
Never threatened her mother.
Oh, I was simply really concerned about her hand getting caught in the door and her losing an arm. Come on. You
Moving
phrased
on.
it sound like that. You phrased it sound.
Okay, so apparently you both have poor ways of phrasing things sometimes.
But in a way, yes, Peace does indeed trust. I
Okay.
would never say no. He's always has, but one of his main gripes was always her counting how many times he saved him because it felt like, oh, this is a favor for you to repay later for me. Thanks. Thanks, I guess. So that's why he just said, just don't do it anymore then if you're gonna keep counting.
For
I
Serena,
wasn't dead.
It was. It felt.
For
Well,
Serena,
Yeah, that's
Okay.
that's one of those things that what a character thinks it is and what one perceives it to be, it kind of matters. Because while one character may not think it as being a favor that is owed back, another one might perceive it that way.
Sure.
So, but yes, Fable.
on Serena's part, she does trust Laya. Just to her, she's like the sister. One thing though that Serena didn't really like was the fact that when we found those changelings, how Laya instantly went to she said something like, maybe do you want me to kill them? They're like to Serena, that kind of was just like, okay, maybe you need a little bit of a break or something, because for one, I know changelings aren't like double dangers, and changelings in history are scary and everything, but these poor creatures were literally tortured and experimented on because some crazy wizard thought, hey, immortality, or hey, I want to learn everything I can from them, but instead of trying to work a peaceful solution, I'm just gonna fucking rip your heart out and eat it in front of you, kind of deal. Okay, maybe you didn't do that, but you get what I mean.
To actually bring up, I do remember that situation. It wasn't let's kill them. It was her bringing up just the other dead ones that were there, just right in front of the person, just disregard to any kind of like, oh, hey, they were being tortured forever. Hey, your friend's dead, by the way. Just like fucking yeeted himself off, you know?
Yeah, that
Do you want me to
that-
defile this corpse, guys? What do we do with these corpses? Hey, man. Oh, sorry, I didn't see the changeling right there who's probably like tearing up and horrified. You want me to defile this corpse, by the way?
that was kind of like one moment that Serena was just like, okay, maybe you should step back a bit. And then the other one,
I don't
Sorry.
remember that.
it happened a while ago, so
That
it's
was one of
understandable.
It was one of Laya's counts of I saved peace.
Mm.
Yeah, Peace tried to almost blow himself up by accident.
No, he
Oh
would've
yeah.
I figured that was
survived
just Laya was just acting that way because of her past family life, and figured family doesn't really care about each other.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's understandable. Serena didn't
Plus,
see it
she
that way.
wanted to shock them out of their apathy and everything.
Mhm.
Yeah,
That was the reason behind it.
yeah, shocking them out of
yeah.
their apathy into just complete hysteria and unconsolable sadness.
I am like this, therefore everyone must be.
It's one of those moments where there's a time and place for this, and maybe these poor people aren't that kind of strong-willed or built for that kind of situation. Everyone handles stress differently. I know for sure Lai handles her in her own way, and Serena does as well. But that moment, Serena was just like, "Let me handle this, okay?" But then, and that kind of like kind of did get on her nerves a little bit that Laya wasn't really listening and just continued, but Serena didn't want to like say anything rude. And then the second time was when after we killed Rat, how Laya said maybe we can use the gem for something. That's like no bad. It's not that Serena didn't trust her with that. It's just that the way the gems and what we saw, they corrupt people quite easily, in fact. And Serena was worried that with the way Laya was and how everything was in that place, she was afraid that maybe that this thing would have corrupted Laya and probably taken her over or something. Not like in the normal, hey, we remove curse, but more like you instantly become a net sin kind of thing.
She'd be an epic boss.
She would be an epic boss, yes.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what's
change
scary.
Change places. Now do it again, but you guys are going back to where you were originally, just for fun.
Right? Like, that would have been scary, and Serena will forever trust Laya. It's just the way things were going with them there, it felt like it's not that Serena didn't trust anyone to hold the gem, it's just she knew for sure if she held on to it that she would have made sure that it would have been put away forever. But with Laya, it was scary to think that maybe there's much more like darker aspect somewhere there. Even if there wasn't, Serena didn't want to take that chance.
Let's also not forget. Okay, now that they got their done distracted cars, I'm gonna kill the bartender and blame it on Wrath.
Yeah.
Which was like, person was standing here, person was dead. Oh, it must have been Wrath over there. You can't just cheese the rolls like that.
Yeah,
You
that's
can't cheese the rolls.
Yeah.
That kind of did impair my judgment, but I was trying to not be metagaming because Serena was not there for that moment. But Laya was kind of acting really scary when she was with the group, and it was just a scary thought in a scary place at the time, if anything. But yes, Serena will forever trust Laya, and she's happy that she finally found something that makes her happy, being in the place where people trust her and things like that. No matter what, Serena will forever trust her. They might not always agree on stuff, but honestly, that's just friendship in general. You don't always have to agree with your friends. Hell, there'll be times where you
Bartender
argue.
thing, that was after the argument and no one listening, I think, and Peace going his own. Actually, I think Peace said go your own way. Just wave.
No, I remember this. You were talking about you liking the other moon elf, and you're like, but what do I do? I'm kind of already with a thing with Russell, and then we were all like, you need to kind of explore this yourself, and then then Laya just takes it as, okay, so I need to just never never come back to you guys and like just do everything by myself. See you guys.
That's possible.
Yeah.
That is-
Yeah.
I think there was more to it, but I think that's close enough.
That is.
I guess that's probably about a good
no.
80% accurate.
I did remember Serena telling Laya that she says, well, who do you feel better with, this lady or Russell? And you said Russell, and then Serena was just like, well, I don't think you said Russell, but Serena was just like, well, go with the person that makes you feel happier. And by that she meant Russell, but she wasn't gonna straight up be like, stay with Russell if he makes you really happy. She wanted Laya to figure that out, but then you later told me that that Laya was the kind of person that needed someone to tell her what she wanted, or like tell her what to do or something along the lines.
Man, I will say
At some points,
I'm glad I uploaded these episodes.
jeez.
Sorry, go ahead, Tara.
At some points, yeah, I think she was looking for something and know where to find it. And then she found religion check.
Yeah, I know. We keep coming back to the failed religion check.
So
But-
what brings you here to the pearly gates of heaven? Fail a religion check.
Oh my god. But no, if Laya would have asked differently or asked again, Serena would have said to stay with Russell. Reason being, Russell cared about Laya despite her looks and everything. He cared about her for who she was, the elf lady. only really saw Laya for her looks. I think there might have been more, but on the surface, that's all it really seemed like was
It felt
that the
very
elder.
surface level, and
Yeah.
I think the reason why Peace couldn't give more suggestion about it was because he wasn't there to see the flirt action going on.
Oh, I
He
know.
wasn't there to
but,
see how it was, so that's kind of why he couldn't give his judgment and right away just say you probably should do that. With her, it seems very surface level.
Yeah, that's. But yes, if Serena could do it again, she probably would tell her that she believes her and Russell are great to be together and that she should stay with him. Just
they
Russell,
are.
and that's a really good thing in Serena's mind.
Yeah.
But yeah, just
So
the Elven lady was too surface level. It was terrible.
so if you had a chance to redo that moment, you would give Laya advice
Mhm.
instead of just vague advice.
Yes,
Okay.
if Serena could do it again, she'd be like, "All right, listen, you and Russell are made together. I don't want to hear no butts, cuts, or coconuts. Now get out of the room. I don't
It's
know."
just like it's like you see that moon elf over there? Fuck that bitch. You hear me? Fuck
Not
that
literally,
bitch.
but screw her. I mean, not that way. I
But
mean,
like,
just at least just don't go after her. She's not she's not good for you.
It would have been more like.
Let me get my tools.
Oh yeah, that would have been more like. It would have been more like for Serena. She'd be like, "Listen, you and Russell are perfect together. I don't care what that moon lady says. All she cares about is how you look. Russell loves you for who you are. You love him for who he is. Now I want you to go there, tell Russell how you feel, and that's it. No more of this discussion, Lundy. None more."
Fuck that bitch.
That's how Serena would have been like if she could do it again.
So Tara,
Serena's transformation into a potty mouth is amazing.
I loved how Elia went around the city and found even the gay bar and convinced people and had long conversation and then peace, the plot device.
so
Yeah.
Tara, if that whole situation with with Laya wanting advice, if Serena or Peace or someone in the group actually kind of sat down with her and gave her advice, how do you think things would have gone differently?
I don't know, to be honest.
Would
It was a bit more compounding feeling of small things where they didn't trust what she said, what
okay.
she wanted. The small things like not going to the room, not believing things. It mounted slowly. She was a rogue, after all.
Yeah. So does
to
Laya
bring back the statements from earlier, your personality is now rogue. Stop it.
yeah, does Laya kind of understand though that possibly like her choices or like what she wanted to do, the risks involved in what she wanted to do, and how dangerous it could have been or how it could have turned out poorly?
Oh yeah.
Okay.
The more they pushed, or the more she felt like an outsider, she wanted to do more risks to make sure they didn't have to.
Do you think she would understand that maybe the party didn't want her to have to take risks either? At least not alone.
Maybe they told her.
Okay.
We did. I can actually recall Peace saying, "You really come back here. We'll discuss like the game plan and stuff like that." And then you brought back the whole. We did this. Say, you don't need to take unnecessary risks for us. Let's just discuss this together.
No, that's like, fuck you. What do you want?
No, that's how you saw it.
Oh yeah.
Peace literally just
Doesn't
said,
matter. Lies gone. Why are you touching up this whole thing?
Well, because it's important stuff to go over. I mean, it gives good insight into characters, but also for players too.
Mm-hmm.
Because as we just saw now, what one player thinks is what they're trying to convey may not be what another player gleams from that. They might see it as something else or perceive it as a different meaning.
Oh, we've seen that already with Mercy. I remember having a discussion with Guy here because he misunderstood everything. Mercy said no lies, nothing, and he still saw everything as lie. Do you remember that, Guy? Sorry, Nadim?
Well, which situation? Because there's expand on the situation itself.
Yeah, which one exactly?
Oh, which one? Yeah, great. That's what I wanted to hear.
Bring up the example. Like,
Yeah.
Bring up an example of the situation.
Because I mean, if you're just gonna kind of like, be vague about like, all of those times, it's like what kind of thing are you?
It's like the whole thing
meaning?
of, hey, you bully kids. Yeah, what kids? You bully kids. I'm not sure if anyone gets that reference, but if you do,
No, I don't.
congrats. It's when Jake Paul, Cody Cohen's like, you bully kids. It's like, kids? What kids? It's like, you bully kids. They told me.
Okay.
Dumbest shit ever.
It
Sorry.
was when she gave him a hug in Carl's Hunter's Mark on James.
Ah. Okay.
That's. I don't.
I
Can't you just see where that went on its own?
I guess you'd have to see it as from a point of view of, okay, you being in Kai's and James's shoes. You don't know these people. You just came up to them, or you just got paired up with them for this thing, this mission. You don't know anything about them, and then this one person marks you against your knowledge to track you. That makes it seem very suspicious, like one they don't. It could be perceived as one they don't trust you. They
My issue was that the players heard something else than what I said.
No, you were being really vague about it, and you were just kind of like avoiding telling the truth, but at the same time not lying. And that just made it sound way more suspicious to the character.
That's fine by me, but you recalled later on that Marcus literally said, I didn't do anything. It's the misunderstanding, not hearing the other player, what they say, or even the character.
But
Suddenly
you did something,
translated
though.
something.
You
Yes.
did something.
you did do
though.
something though.
You cast Hunter's Mark on Kai's brother, who, well, to bring some insight onto things, Kai looked up to his brother a lot because he saw him as confident stuff, and then one day his brother just up and left, disappeared, and that hit him really hard, which is what brought a lot of the Kai was already kind of a secluded child and kind of like, kind of stuck to his own wits and just kind of stuck to himself, did his own thing a lot. But he always knew he could fall back on his brother, and that's what brought him confidence a lot of the time. But then when his brother just up and left, and that was for like 4 or 5 years, and then just suddenly his brother comes back, and he doesn't want to like lose him. And randomly, these like when they're set with the job with these people, he's like, all right, let's try and do this. Then this woman who was just digging through Kai's stuff, even though he asked, hey, can you not dig through my shit? And then you just kind of just sat there just continuously doing it, disregarding his like just request. And then afterwards goes suddenly just suspiciously knew that found it suspicious that you just instantly knew which direction that he was going, even though James was inside of a building and was underneath a bunch of tarps and different buildings and stuff. There's a difference between knowing a direction and knowing how to exactly get to someone. And then he found that really suspicious, found that, I think this person's tracking you, goes up to James, casts, the detect magic and sees the Hunter's Mark and stuff. Then with what you said beforehand, just directly lying and then saying, and then I think your main excuse
Directly lying.
Directly lying. And then your main excuse.
She can't lie. She can't lie.
Yeah, but you said I didn't do anything when we asked.
No, didn't say, didn't do anything.
What did you say?
God's sake.
Once
We had
again,
this discussion already.
episodes are uploaded if you want to go back and look at them.
But what I'm saying is that you didn't directly tell him what you did, but you didn't tell him you didn't do anything, which made it seem way more suspicious.
So basically danced around the truth.
You danced around it, which made it seem, which also, yeah, again, made it seem like you were gonna like go and stab him or something, or rob him blind or all that. And he doesn't even know who you are, which, to all his knowledge, is you were a person who was digging through his things when he asked you not to. It just seemed like you were someone who was just wanted to like, hey, I'm just gonna steal some random shit whenever I feel like it because I'm from the Empire. That's what it seemed like to him.
She said
So,
one of the things like, I'm looking out for you.
yeah. You need to remember, Kai is one to trust his brother on things.
So, guys,
Mhm.
the chat says you guys need therapy. Your character
Oh,
needs
fuck
your characters
off.
need
Whoever's
therapy.
in there.
No, no,
I swear to
no.
God, if it's you, man.
No, well, actually, they say it feels like you have things to talk through.
I tell Cars that all the time, but no, he makes stupid jokes like they just need to bang, and I'm like, God damn it!
I didn't say that.
You did at one point. You
Oh,
did
at
at
one
one
point.
At
point.
one point.
But that's a bad idea.
Don't dance around
I'm
it.
for it. There's tension already.
Tara, I know you're up for it, but it needs to be serious.
How-
Even the
I'm
chat
gonna
say no, just no.
Hold on, I'm
I-
gonna Google
I-
something. How to kick someone out of a server that isn't.
I did suggest at one point. At one point I did tell Cars that I'm actually slowly starting to get worried about the tension between Mercy and Kai, and fucking Cars being Cars is just like, yeah, they just need a bang, it'll be better. And I'm like, oh my god, why? And he just laughed.
I was kidding. But yeah,
I
no,
know you were, but that wasn't what I was
How-
looking
no,
for. You
What I
butt.
want to know is that how is it that like that? Okay, I suggest like, hey, Peace and Laya need to kind of get stuck together for a short amount of time. Maybe it's something where the party's split, but then get back together later that session. You come up with the fucking islands. Surreal fucking Fable mentions, hey, you know, Kai and not Laya, Mercy, or not, you know, there's a lot of tension going on between them. Maybe they need like you need to kind of like bump them together or something and try and get them to talk more and just like all that. And then you're just like, what if they had sex? Am I wrong?
yeah, a little bit. I wouldn't put me in a situation where that would happen.
Exactly. But,
Can
I
you
mean,
imagine what would happen if we got together? Mercedes and Kai?
Oof.
But
They would eat each other.
isn't Mercy more leaning towards females at the moment, or are you saying that she's bi? If so, that's cool
I
too.
know.
But
I don't think
Kai's
Mercy
the bi
knows.
Guy. Kai's the bi guy, so
yeah, Kai's bi. That's been established. But
yeah.
it's
Ka-
just
Kai
Mercy.
is-
Mercy doesn't know, but she suspects, and I can tell more, but I don't think you want to. Here.
That's fair.
That's-
That is
that's
100%
fine.
fair.
Yeah, you don't have to reveal it. Yeah, but we all know that Kai is just a disaster bisexual. You know.
I'm sure Fable knows that reference. Right
I hate you. Why did Cody?
And
Why
Mercy-
did you? Tara, just to fill you in, one of the sessions, the players were talking, right? Like the players were adventuring, and they decided to start gossiping for some reason. I'm like, okay,
Not gossiping, but just basically trying, to talk and get to know each other.
yes. One of my players basically said when they were asked about their when asked in character about their past life, one of the players was just like, Fable, is there such a thing as disaster by bisexuality? And I'm like, wait, are you asking me? And he's just like, yes, is that a thing in your world? I'm like, I don't know, maybe? That was my actual response was, I don't know, maybe? That came out of left field, and I still don't know how to answer that question to this day.
Is there such a thing as disaster bisexual in your world?
I just, that was literally came out of left field, and I'm like, maybe?
Well,
I don't
that's
know.
easy. Make elemental winter and make elemental summer and have them bang. Tornadoes everywhere.
Oh my days, there.
So is that what happens when the fire and water genasi get together?
Yes, but on a higher scale.
Oh, that's what happens when the four elements were once at peace, and then the Fire Nation attacked Karst.
That's why Master Zuko needs to keep the peace.
Oh
just-
god.
No,
I
peace is
just-
taken.
I just want to say, new follower friend, this is what I have to deal with on like a weekly
weekly.
basis. Yes.
Bi-weekly for in the case of Karst.
Mhm.
Bi-weekly for us now.
Bi-weekly, you mean twice per week or once per 2 weeks?
No, bi-weekly as in twice per week.
Yeah, the other way is bi-monthly.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Okay.
Well, actually, Fable, you have to deal with me tri-weekly
What
I do.
Oh.
because of his game.
Well.
Because bi-weekly can actually mean both things, you know?
That's true.
Good.
Occurring to every 2 weeks or twice a week.
That is
Yeah, it
true.
depends
That's
on the
true.
context.
Yeah. That's a fair point.
Anyway, I actually tried to approach Kai as Mercy several times and it always turned into disaster.
I brought this up before. He's distancing himself from the party as a whole and just kind of trying to like just calm himself after all of this. We've discussed this literally beginning of the session,
Yeah.
beginning of this today.
Yeah, well,
But I want you to engage more.
Well, Kai doesn't want to engage more because it seems like the whole party just kind of like, okay, well, you're gonna go see all these other people who are more useful than you, even though you all have you have the tools of the trade completely, and it's like, okay.
Because
That's
we
how he
don't
sees
know
it.
what he can do. He never shows it.
I mean, I still remember this thing in the desert. He said, okay, I'll build a flare and stuff, and then you and James are like, there's no need. We both have light that we can cast. And it's like, okay, I'll build this sand and let it consume it.
But then
He's-
we
he
have
has
to
a
still use the
construct.
flare.
He has a construct that he built himself. I'm sure he can modify armor.
The construct feels like an accident.
Really wasn't.
But feels so. Like
Feels so.
a evil genius thing that you just gobbled together and it works.
No,
well,
it wasn't an evil genius thing. It was more like a dumb bitch juice drinker, just kind of thing where he's like, "Oh shit, I just did it, boy." Actually,
That's
no.
even worse.
No. Buck was actually a gift to the family from someone who, because I remember Karst having the other, the constructs that were the cellars and stuff was supposed to be just kind of like a house made kind of thing.
Mhm.
But then Kai was just grabbed his screwdriver and was just like, I'm gonna see what I can do with you when he was like 5 and just started jimmying around with him. And in the end, it turned out to he modified Buck to be more than just a construct, rather is borderline a person.
so
An
sounds like
accident- a chain of events that led to him existing that were completely random. Yes, an accident. No,
well, it sounds
Kai knew what he was getting himself into.
kind of sounds like Kai and Mercy need to talk and
Kiss
try-
and makeup.
try to be patient with each other and talk things out.
Kiss
Be
and makeup.
or hug and make up.
Tara, to give you a bit of a, let's just say, to throw you a bone there. Remember the one time Kai approached you on things and was chilling with you about things and all that? When we were back
You
in
mean
the desert.
after she gave him a sandwich and a vial of mercury?
Yes, and you explained your position on it
Yeah.
because it was the one time where it wasn't disrespectful when you were trying to approach. It didn't feel disrespectful. It didn't feel impeding on him or anything. You let him go to you rather than you go to him.
She never approached him disrespectfully.
No, how
Oh,
he
called
saw
him a
it.
kid.
Yeah, no, yeah.
said- How he
Okay,
saw
cool.
it. Remember how he saw it, because still his first memory of meeting you is you dug through all of his stuff in his workshop and just disregarded him when he asked you to not do that. That was still his first memory and still embedded in his head because he is an evil genius, or no, he's just more like a dumb bitch
Yeah.
who isn't that dumb, who remembers
Yeah,
just
the first
about
meeting
anything.
wasn't really great. Feathercant?
Yeah.
And
Let's remember what led to that.
Yeah, Mercy
You
not.
really love making bad impressions.
Mercy didn't have a great one either. Just not respecting his property or his
You're trying to pin
boundaries.
this on me. You're trying to pin this on me. It's a
It,
both of us.
it was
fault.
both of you screwed up
It's
in
a,
your
it's
own
a
ways.
mutual thing. It's a
It-
mutual
Just
fuck
kill
up.
property.
You know?
But yeah, you're right.
Kai's Workshop was a thing that was expanded for him because he used to just be like a normal Hunters Guild person, and he's like, I can fix the airship, and they're like, what?
So,
You know that thing that's been in
And
the
it blew
garage for
up.
35 months? Yeah,
And
you guys
it blew up.
it didn't blow up.
blow up, and it wasn't even Kai's fault that made it blow up.
It
Yeah, that's one thing. It wasn't his fault for blowing up.
It emitted high level squeals and a lot of smoke.
No, that was a joke I was making. That like, oh, it's starting to do that after he's doing stuff around it. It was a joke I was making. It
yeah.
wasn't actually what was going on.
Yeah, nothing blew up. Yeah.
He always cracks the joke of like, oh, when something's happening, when he's like works on something. Like it was one Serena. It's like, listen, if you feel really weak with those gloves on, just give it a wham or two, and it should work again. That was, I think, the joke that I made when I gave you the gauntlets of ogre power.
Yeah, I think something like that.
Fable.
Mhm.
Remember the joke Kai made when he made you the gauntlets of ogre power?
I think I remember it. Yeah.
If you feel really weak while using these, just give it a wham or two, and it should go back to normal.
Yeah.
He always cracks these jokes. He never intends on anything. He never intends on breaking anything other than to try and break something's limits and to see where he can push it next. What can it become? There.
Okay.
And I'm going to stop discussing this thing because honestly, we go back to the same arguments over and over again and the same things.
All right. Well, I think
Every time.
that's where we'll end the session there. Apparently, what we learned from this this talk on this episode of Natural 20 Insight is that some of these characters need therapy, group therapy, together.
Did you say boob therapy?
Group
Group
therapy.
Group. Okay.
Yeah,
Not
group.
boob therapy. Okay.
Yeah, not boop. Group.
Boop.
I mean, if we want nipple therapy, there's the fox.
No.
Okay.
Yeah, no. You need group therapy.
Every
You
time.
need to talk out your issues and learn to understand one another and be able to perceive more, be more conscientious of others. So yeah.
All right.
Next session, Master Not Oogway is going to help you guys with therapy.
Master Ugray will save us.
It's
You know
Master
what?
Not Oogway.
I really like Toric.
Hmm?
I like Toric.
Oh, Thorig, or Toric, yeah, Ethan's dwarven fighter. Yes.
Yeah, I know
Yep.
about it.
Yeah, he's a good
Um,
character. Maybe
Plus,
he maybe he can be your
Sorry.
therapist.
I'm actually kind of surprised you let Ethan have a guard drake. Cars.
Well, I figured it was only going to be a short time. It'll be fine.
Yeah,
Oh no,
I
he's
made
staying.
I made a cars. I just make just like the crossbow and the thing, and you're like, okay, failure rate of like 25%. I'm like, what the fuck?
Well,
That's so hard.
Well, the guard drake I gave him, I lowered down his stats a bit, so he's not a normal, DMG guard drake.
Yeah, but then out comes Mercy with sharpshooter and everything. So, all right, I dealt 55 points of damage in one hit. Karst, how do I do this?
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Good point. Fair point.
It wasn't 55 damage.
It was
Yeah, like,
70.
I did the hammer fist gauntlets. I remember I'm like, okay, I'm not gonna add the force damage thing because I know Carson's gonna be like that, and then like, okay, that 1d8 bludgeoning. It's just kind of like a longsword thing. It's like, okay, but you can't use somatic components with spells. I'm like, I can't and then out comes fucking Mercy, 4 bajillion damage, and then also cast spells. And I'm just like looking at through the monitor, Karst. If you ever feel like a burning sensation on the back of your neck, you know what it is. It's me staring straight dagger straight into you.
Okay. Fair point.
It was only 70 damage through 4 shots.
peace with his fuck off sword. The only time he's ever broken the 70 barrier was with the fuck off sword and the 5 attack thing. That's it. That's
It was a
it.
4 attack thing.
It's a 5 attack thing. Yeah, you do 2 attacks. It's like, okay,
Well-
so Cars is like, okay, this thing's dead. It
Well-
also killed the entire family.
Well, her having sneak attack helps.
Hmm?
Have
What?
her,
Oh, I'm not talking about Laia. I'm talking about.
oh no,
Mercy.
doesn't Mercy? Oh no, Mercy doesn't have sneak attack. Never mind.
No,
Oh, no,
fighter
Sharpshooter,
ranger.
favorite enemy,
Favorite enemy. Yeah.
and the thingy that allows you to do another 2 attacks because of the action surge.
hmm
And then, another thing I would also like to mention about the whole Kai thing is like when I built it, it was before Ethan also got his thing. Like, but it's gonna be punching and stuff. Even Ethan's character, Mogash, even Mogash is like he's still doing the 1D whatever the monk die is and stuff. I'm not gonna argue on this. It's still like a punching weapon. Here you get another monk dice that does cold damage, and I'm just like, cursed.
Okay. Message understood. You can have your crossbow. and your
I'm not
and
cheating.
your somatics.
I'm just using normal DMG, PHB, and Zonatars, and that's it.
You know what the thing I was gonna actually originally give Kai? Let me look for it because it was a bit more broken than the Hammer Fist. It was actually way more broken, and it was of the same rating. Hold on, let me find. And this isn't me trying to be a spiteful bitch. I'm just automatically one.
Yes, we know. Oh,
Sebastian, I
got you. Oh, Shabby. Oh, my good boy.
By the way, guys, remember it's quarantine time, so whenever you can, do only inside jokes.
Oh my god,
Oh boy.
that was good, but at the same time it was bad. So I kind of like, I don't know. I want to give you that one, Tara, but I can't. I'm principal.
Good time to sit down and queue up the movie Inside Out.
I don't think I saw that.
It's a Pixar movie about your emotions.
Oh, okay.
Good therapy session for everyone. Da 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 da. Hey.
This is what we deal with, ladies and gentlemen. This is our DM. This is why we hurt him with Master Uwe.
Yeah.
Ah!
He
this
makes
is
better
why.
dad jokes than me.
He's not Master Uruguay. I regret making him a turtle.
I
Alright,
remember you
You
gave
don't.
us the limit of rare, one uncommon, or 2 uncommon, right, Karst?
Yeah.
Okay, I'm gonna look for that one thing one more time. Life of what it was.
Well- Well, we can have that later. So I'm gonna end the stream now. So I hope everyone had a good time. We got a few answers from a small bit of an audience, which is nice. We got a new follower. So yeah. And
Yeet.
we'll hopefully see you all next week. As we'll possibly we'll see how things go. This thing is not a guaranteed every week thing, but just when I'm able to run it and host it. And Sebastian, wait, Sebastian, no, get away from my clothes. No. Oh, you too cute. So
Now he's pretending he has a dog.
I do have a dog. He's my good boy. Oh yes, Scratchy. Oh yeah. But anyway,
Now he's pretending he has a baby.
he's my baby boy, even though he's old as fuck. Anyway, hope you all had a good time, and we'll see you all next time. Make sure to follow, like, subscribe, and we stream our Wednesday game every day. Well, not every day, but every week. 12:30 p.m. Mountain Time, whatever that is for wherever you are. I'm sure you can easily find it on Google. And I also post stuff on Twitter at the Gamer Draco. So be sure to follow there, and because I post when we're about to start our game.
Yay.
So yeah, and when we're gonna be doing this too. So see you all next time. Bye.